So, Bug lands in the appropriate docking station, docking bay, and you're coming into you're not coming into the first class passenger lounge, let's put it like that this time, because you're coming in on a freight ship. So he bids you farewell, he tells you where to go. Basically, you just have to follow the yellow lines. And in fact, as you disembark the ship, you hear this.
Welcome to Prospero's Dream, gateway to the stars. Please have your ID ready and your luggage unlocked. Following ID check, you will be required to enter the decon booths. Thank you for your cooperation.
Bug bids you a final farewell and says thanks again for the help. It is not in the best of moods because what money he earned from dropping that strange thing off is going to have to spend here to get his leg fixed. But, you know, that's the way it goes sometimes. Anything you want to say to him before you depart?
It was a pleasure working with you. Hope to see you again someday.
Yes, well, like he says, he owes you one. So, you know, if he can ever help you out, then he'll do his best to.
Having been on the Dream before, Daft probably, jots down maybe like a medic or two that he knows who might be able to get him sorted.
Oh, that's nice. Yep, he appreciates that. Yep.
I'm going to take a scan around the docking area and see what ships are there in case we need to borrow one.
Okay, well, there's this is a huge docking area. There's scores of docking bays and ship repairs and all that sort of stuff going on. So there's no shortage of ships, but security is fairly tight. You've got security patrols going on, and you've got customs officials and all that kind of thing.
Do we know how long Bug's going to be here for?
He's not hanging around.
Well, ask him.
Yeah, he's
basically going to.
He's going to get his leg fixed. Yeah, rest over for a day or two, and then he'll be off. But he does come back here every now and again, so you know he knows where you're going to be staying. I think, or you're probably talking about it. So you know, if he's back here, he'll get in touch.
I'm assuming there's a way we can keep on in touch via whatever communication systems you have in this universe.
Yeah, you can get a message to him. It might take a while to get there because it basically all the messages and all that stuff goes through the jump gate as well. So it's transmitted from here to there to there to there, sort of thing. Yeah.
The galactic Discord.
CB radio.
The old space pages.
It's an email that still has to be physically delivered by post.
Yeah.
So from there, you follow the yellow line through into the first part of the customs area. You have to give up your luggage. That is taken through on a separate conveyor belt. You are asked to remove all your clothing and to head into the decontamination booth. There's a number of guards standing around, armed. They've all got pistols. You notice some of them have got what you probably recognise as foam guns. So that's basically like a spray that will cover part of you and then harden very quickly. Yeah, coming into somewhere like this, if you were coming through to the first class passenger area, then it may be a little bit different, but basically, you know, you're off a freighter, you're plebs. This is where you go.
I'm assuming this is pretty standard procedure for travelling around various places. Undress and do the necessary to get through this. If it's like any other customs area, the hell that is customs and security.
Yes. So you remember, like at school when you did swimming, you had to go through the Veruca bath thing. So you've got one of those, and then you get sprayed with this foul-smelling, yellowy sort of liquid that you'll be smelling that for a few days to come yet. But you know,
Mac was the first one undressed, and he quite looks forward to the smell after.
You get through. So the other side, you get dressed. You go through the next part of the customs area where they're checking all your luggage. I don't think anyone's got anything outrageous, have they?
No, officer, nothing in my bag at all. No, don't worry about that.
At the next station, you have to present your e-pads, and they are checked. You are issued with a cred stick, which you have to keep on you at all times. This is what they take your oxygen tax from, which is 10 credits a day or 30 credits a month. Basically, you can set up. And it is an offence not to have this cred stick on you, should you ever get stopped by the security forces.
I assume they did let us get dressed again before they started inspecting everything else.
Oh yes, definitely. So the way people normally pay for things is with the cred stick. Obviously on your e-pad, you'll have your sort of banking details on there, but rather than carry your whole e-pad around, you can transfer credits from your bank account directly onto the cred stick, and then you just present that. So that can be like a stick, or that can be like a card. So that's what you use for your day-to-day stuff.
Is there kind of a passport control station? Or I suppose the question I'm really asking is, are we having to use our real names?
You're using the identities that HQ put onto your e-pads.
Right.
Basically. So you've got they suggested you keep your first name, but change your second name. And you will be asked at some point, purpose of visit to Prospero's Dream.
For a good time.
Yeah. Party time.
That was a whole story around a stag do, wasn't it, or something?
Oh, yeah. Who's the stag, by the way?
I thought it was Daft, wasn't it? Because of his connections of being posher.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So he'll stay naked after the control because that's part of the conditions of the stag.
Taking his clothes.
He gets one modesty stock for the front.
Yeah.
Apart from the antlers, he has to wear, of course.
Yeah.
Nothing like blending in, eh?
His trousers on top, t-shirt on the bottom.
He's Winnie the Pooh in it.
Okay, well, you clear customs okay. There's no problems there. HQ did a good job with your IDs, but, they should. They're experts at this sort of thing. And to be honest, on Prospero's Dream, no one's paying too much attention unless it's something really glaringly obvious. And if it is, they're more likely to ask you for a cut of it than, arrest you.
As we scan through, like on the screen, it's like firearms offences, terrorism offences, and they're just swiping it away. And be like, yeah, welcome in.
Have you got? They see that you've got money. That's the main thing. You've got money, you can come in. So
just imagine someone who's got no record just being arrested off from the background.
Yeah.
Pulled off.
I think they're suspicious of that person.
All right, so then it's out into the spaceport. You've got all your luggage and everything else now. And think of this like a sort of supersized airport, basically. It's very, very busy. Even at this time, it's about 7 p.m. on a Monday evening, but it's still very busy, a lot of to-in and fro-in. In the spaceport, there's the sort of thing you'd expect, coffee bars, that sort of stuff. And you see a sign for the mono, for the rail system, that will take you, as you can see on our little map there, up to Hassani's Corner.
I like to think what you say it was about 7 p.m. So it's like we walk it out of customs at 6:59, turns to 7 p.m. All the lights just go out and it goes into night mode.
It's like a gradual thing. So from about 5 o'clock, it will start damping down. But if you're kind of inside anyway, so it's all just, you're going to be living under fluorescent strip light for the next however many weeks for the most part. But yeah, that's basically the way it works. 7 till 7, daytime, nighttime cycle, with the occasional shower as well, just to clean the muck away.
Before we make any moves towards public transport or anything like that, can I just want to have a quick just scan around where we are. What's CCTV situation like?
Pretty much everywhere.
Okay, so
yeah, and again, you see a lot of the security you'll see, as you'll know from your research before. The insignia they've got is Tempest, and Daft will have experienced those before. That's basically the biggest private security company in operation on the Dream. You also have what are called the Security Force, Prospero's Dream, SFPD, which are like a sort of day-to-day police force. but they're known for being extremely corrupt for the most part.
Are we talking heavy patrols?
You're going to have Tempest security going around in 2s or 3s. Again, a range of armaments on them, from SMGs, foam guns, pistols. They've got obvious comms. So it seems like it's not a place you'd want to start anything particularly.
Right then, lads. I would say, given that people have already got eyes on us, I reckon we should probably go and maybe get some props for our little expedition. Or at the very least, we should all head over to Miss Cause separately.
The guest house we're staying in, isn't it?
Yes, and you are expected.
We're all booked in. Do we need to go over separately? We are a party.
No, that's true. Yeah, no worries then. I suppose we'd jump on the mono.
Follow you, kid.
And that's located at Hassani's corner, is that right?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, head there.
Yep, you can get a trolley for your luggage. You can get all that on the mono. That's all fine. So you see there's a number of stations coming out from the dock, Terminal 1, Terminal 2 of the spaceport. And as you're sitting there looking out the window, you can see that once you get out of the spaceport, basically you've got a large area of depots and warehouses and storage facilities, that kind of thing. As you get further out, they get more and more basic. So by the time you hit Copper Lane, you're looking pretty much at junkyards and very run-down looking industrial estates. So you're not coming into the most salubrious area to start. If this was like Heathrow Airport, you're coming into Staines kind of thing. Obviously, Daff, this wasn't something you experienced before. You probably came in on a private dock around the other end, you know. So this is a part of the dream you've not really seen before.
Yeah, not used to security being so rough.
So you come into Hassani's market, and now you've got a choice here. You can grab a couple of cabs, or you can walk. It's about a 15-20 minute walk, but with all the luggage. You can get a couple of cabs easily. They're relatively cheap.
Cab it.
Yeah, cab it.
Yeah, not carrying these bags and God knows what else. I mean, let's just make sure a target, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's too far. What was that? A mile?
I ain't walking a mile. That's what cabs are for.
I haven't seen a mile since I was in my 20s.
And this is basically what the area looks like. So think a sort of a Blade Runner vibe. Obviously, we're in night cycle now, so there's street lights and lots of neon. And there's just been a shower, so it is quite damp as well. Again, Daff, this is a little bit different from what you experienced before, which is obviously a more upmarket than here. But having said that, everything seems fine. There's people walking around. There's stuff going on. You know, it doesn't look particularly dangerous.
Yeah, I feel like Daff is probably trying to look like this is all familiar, because these guys don't know that he's like Dad's mega rich or anything. So he's just trying to but I don't know how well he's actually doing that.
It did come up because you remember that Eric hacked the personnel files.
Yeah. He's got your star sign.
Oh yeah. But he's still to a point. He's trying to look like he fits in.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're all trying to do the same thing. It just as we're traveling through, just kind of get a bit of a lay of the land, and just I know it's dark and a bit drizzly, but is there anything in particular that stands out on street corners or that we pass, or any evidence of gang insignia or anything like that, which would sort of say, oh no, that's interesting that in this area that lot are there, or something like that?
Nothing specifically, really. No, it's laid out in a straight block system. Most of your buildings are sort of low-rise apartments, retail outlets. When you get to Hassani's market, that's quite a big market area, and the street you're going for is just off of that.
I'm going to glance up a few of the side alleys and street corners and see if there is any sort of dealing going on. The money to one person, walk somebody else who slips them a little packet.
You're probably not going to be able to see much from your vantage point. You do notice there's a few red lights in places and some people hanging around by those. In fact, there's quite a few.
Might shoot a little wink at a couple of them.
Well, if you're going to do that, they're going to come walking over to the cab.
The stag do hasn't started yet.
I might just tap on
Yeah, let's drop the bags off first.
on the driver, just saying, pull off.
Put your foot down.
Okay, so the cabs then nudge through this large market area, which is quite busy. There's the smell of fast food in the air, and takes a street directly off of that, Souk Street, and drops you at your location.
What's it looking like?
So it's a very standard, quite drab-looking apartment building, 4 stories high, and there's a front door lit with a buzzer and an intercom next to it.
I notice a CCTV camera covering the front door.
As Eric points that out, I'll point back to him and did you notice the other 4 concealed ones watching our approaches?
I wasn't looking out for them, but I will take your word for it.
Did anyone notice the food that was being cooked? Smelled all right.
Yeah. Is it all sort of street food like Blade Runner, as you said?
Oh, it's the usual sort of noodles, curry, fast food stuff, onions, burgers, that kind of thing, a whole range of stuff. You can still notice a bit here. It's meat, basically. And if you ask what type of meat it is, they'll say meat.
My favourite type.
Out of the game, are we worried about being seen on camera? Because, we've been seen on camera all the way through so far, so this isn't a particular problem for us, right? We kind of expect there to be CCTV outside a hostel or hotel or something, right? This isn't unusual.
It's unavoidable coming into the station, and even going around the station, there's CCTV in a lot of places. In terms of this building, you probably expect a camera at the front. Just like you would today. But the ones that Todd spotted, that would seem to point to a higher level of security than you might expect from a rundown place like this.
Okay, I'll see if I can hack into that when I get in my room.
They were covering the approaches as well. So
yes.
They could be for inside, because this is a safe house, isn't it?
And our handlers booked this for us, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so maybe this is one of the areas where they want us to kind of start having a look around, obviously, because people that we may need to talk to are going through here.
Yeah, and maybe them 4 cameras are for our benefit, to watch if any approaches is coming towards the safe house.
Who wants to ring the buzzer? Who wants that privilege?
I'll press the buzzer.
Okay, Todd goes up and reaches out to press the buzzer. As he does so, a quite large red centipede shoots out the back and runs across his hand.
Some kind of meat, I guess. I'll flick it off just behind me, so I'm not looking where it's going. Did the bell work, or the buzzer?
You press the buzzer, and a voice comes over the intercom. Bring your luggage into the hall, leave it there, and take the first door on the left.
I'll open the door.
You come into a lobby area. There's another set of doors ahead of you, but there is a door to the left, and you have a sort of clear lobby space where you can bring your luggage in and leave it there, should you so wish.
I think, Daft's just going to help some of the more senile members of the crew with their bags and just get everything out of the taxi as quick as possible.
Todd's going to look at Mac and say, hope we don't have to get undressed again.
That was the best bit so far. I'm going to hold on to my bag.
So you come in, you get all your luggage in. Mac is hanging onto his bag. A voice comes over the tannoy again. Leave all your luggage in the hall.
He's going to Ben Affleck sigh and then just, put it down.
Okay. The outside door clicks shut behind you, and you're opening the door to the left.
Mhm.
You go into a fairly plain room. There's a couple of chairs and a small table and a door at the far end. You come into that and you shut the door behind you. The door at the far end opens and a young man walks in. Two things you notice about him. One, he's wearing a turban. Two, he has a sawn-off shotgun leveled at belly height. Please stay where you are and stand still, he says.
Is this a pump action or a double barrel?
Pump action.
Damn, he could get us all.
Are you going to give us our keys?
He doesn't answer, but the door behind you opens again, and now a young woman comes in, and she's carrying a bit of equipment, looks like a sort of eye scanner or something like that, which she hands to whoever's near it. Steph, you'll be nearest. She hands that and says, "Can you look into that, please?"
With my sort of tech skills and everything, can I, I'm going to have a look at it. Is there anything odd about it, or is it just the standard way to identify people and stuff?
Looks like a standard iris scanner.
Again, would my character know that if they do this, will that blow our cover, or is our cover enough that it's kind of included in the records and it would pick it up?
On your e-pads, your cover identities would probably include iris scan as well. Yeah.
Okay, fine. Okay, yeah. Okay, so yeah, okay, no problem at all. And sort of do the whole eye thing.
Okay, and that gets passed around the group. Is everyone else complying?
Yes, as long as it's not poked anybody in the eye.
If Steph is, I will.
Daph's probably a little bit hesitant, but yeah, he'll comply.
So she then consults her e-pad, and she nods to the man with the gun, who lowers the shotgun, and the door behind him opens again, and another lady comes in, an older lady this time. She introduces herself as Mrs. Core, and the other pair as Jazz, her nephew, and Saina. She apologizes for the welcome, but they take security very seriously here, and they were expecting you a few days ago.
Oh yeah, we got sidetracked. AT5 probably needs to hire some better pilots, if I'm being honest.
Okay, well, you're here now. Well, anyway, come through. You must be starving. Come through for some tea and we'll have a chat.
Thank you very much.
You're led through into a dining room. Think of a fairly large guest house, and there's a dining room where you sat down, tea and some nibbles are brought out. And Mrs. Court starts chatting to you. First thing she asks is, "Oh, how is Naylor?"
Oh, his usual self. Drinks too much whiskey. Doesn't do enough work.
That man never changes. I told him about his drinking, but he won't listen to me.
Is that the one we got a bottle of whiskey for?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, she says, "Welcome to our humble abode. We've given you the top floor here, which is a self-contained suite. You're welcome to dine down here, though. Breakfast is between 7 and 9. Dinner is between 6 and 7. Now, the house is secure. We scan regularly for surveillance. So, as best we know, this is a secure, safe house. My orders are to provide a base for your operations. We all work on a need-to-know basis, and I will help where I can, but I don't need to know anything that I don't need to know. In fact, I'd rather you didn't tell me."
Yeah. Makes sense.
One question. The 4 concealed cameras covering the approaches, are they yours?
Oh, you spotted those. Well, you're very observant. Yes, they are.
This is cool. There's one thing that I need to know is what time is it? Because you mentioned dinner.
Well, it's what we've done is we'll get you up to your rooms. I've put some food up there for you, so you can cook for yourselves tonight, because obviously you turned up a little unexpected, but I'll make sure there's some food up there. Saina will get some food up there for you. In fact, I'll take you up there in a moment. Now, I would suggest you do come down for breakfast in the morning. We do have a number of tenants staying here of different backgrounds, but it would be far less suspicious if you came down and acted like normal guests rather than lock yourself away, which tends to provoke questions.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you have any other contacts here that you need to get in touch with?
Is it Skinner?
Ah, Skinner. She pulls a face. Okay, but I don't want that man in this house. You can meet him somewhere else, I'm sure. I'll get word to him that you've arrived.
It's very kind of you. Only hope the rest of the stag do is just as hospitable.
Oh,
Thank
that's
you.
just. Oh, okay, right, okay. Well, it's as well you let me know that because I can tell our other guests that that's why you're here on the dream.
Indeed.
I was going to say, you'll notice at breakfast when we all turn up with our Hawaiian shirts on.
She rolls her eyes. Anyway, she says it's getting late. Your luggage has been taken up to your rooms. There are stairs or there's a small lift at the end of the corridor just outside. Code for the lift is 2358. Settle in, come down for breakfast, meet some of the other tenants, and we'll help you from there. So you've got the whole upper floor to yourselves, basically. You've got a lounge living room, there's a kitchenette, you've each got a bedroom, and there's a bathroom and a shower room as well. So it's not luxurious, but then, especially for the military types amongst you, it's luxurious enough. It's better than you'd be getting in any sort of barracks anywhere.
Is there access to the roof?
Yes, because you've got like a small balcony at one side. So from there, you could potentially get up onto the roof.
And these are terrace type buildings, aren't they?
Yeah, so it'd be it's all flat roof, yeah.
So could move from roof to roof if need be.
Mm-hmm.
I always check my escape routes first.
Very good, very good.
While Todd's like scampering around looking for escape routes, I think Daph's just stood on the balcony just having a cigarette. Just chilling out.
Yes, looking at the seat. You're in. This is a fairly quiet street. You're off of the main market. If you sort of crane out to the left a bit, you can see the end of the street and the market. That all looks pretty busy. That stays busy till about 11 at night. You can hear the faint thud of music from somewhere. Guess there must be a club. But this street is fairly quiet.
Yeah, I quite like the idea of having a cigarette too. I don't suppose we're sharing rooms, so I'll just be having it inside the room, or if I could get away with it, feet up on the duvet.
Yep, you can always cover the smoke alarm. Plastic bag over the smoke alarm.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's what I'll do. My hairnet. I'll put the shower cap thing.
Eric's gonna unpack and then start scanning through the local news feeds or whatever's there about anything that may catch his eye in terms of, I guess, what they're here to try to do, which is infiltrate gangs, etc. Any names that crop up that might jog his memory, and just kind of start scanning through, seeing what's going on.
Well, yeah, so disrupt the drugs trade or something, has it? Is our main task, wasn't it?
Or gather intel.
Yeah.
Disrupt.
All right, as we are all settled in, just before I give you any more information, you'll be pleased to know that your stress levels are back down to 2. As you've arrived here, everything seems fine, everything's okay. There's food in the kitchen area, just to, bung it in the microwave. So you're fed, you're warm, you're safe. Stress levels are back down to normal. And from the last couple of sessions, Eric and Todd can have 1 luck point each for their activities. So a luck point you can spend at any time to bump up a roll. So a disadvantage will become a normal will become advantaged, or you can use it at any other time where you think it might be useful. So it's not necessarily a roll, but for something else. There's going to be one of those pamphlets on the side as well, like you get in all guest houses, Your Guide to Prospero's Dream, which will detail a lot of the local sites of interest.
It's covered in graffiti, and every face has got a mustache drawn on it.
And yeah, all that sort of thing. To be honest, there's not that much in this area that is of particular interest. This is pretty much where all the dock workers live, and with some industrial stuff going on as well. But, there's a couple of parks. There's probably a museum somewhere.
In terms of just things I could see from the balcony, what is like footfall like outside? Can I get an idea of, is there like a routine police, like a security force patrol route, or?
If you're sat there for a while having a fag or sitting down and watching, maybe about an hour that you'll see a couple of SFPD going past. They're not Tempest. They've got a different uniform, so you're guessing that's the local police.
What are the buildings on either side of us?
Apartments. So this
Yeah.
whole street is apartment blocks, all the same size.
Right.
We can hear a nightclub.
Yeah, you got a fair amount. Caesar's nightclub is probably the biggest, the flashiest looking, where every man is an emperor. But there's Hot Shots, there's the Blue Cat, there's the Ocean Lounge, there's Club Nebula. There's quite a few places.
As we're kind of like coming up to our rooms and what have you, did we get a sense of how many other people would like stay in there, or?
Well, you've got the ground floor, and then you've got 2 other floors, which, I mean, you think here you've got 5 bedrooms, so potentially on those other floors there's 4 or 5 bedrooms, maybe 4 or 5 rooms, so that kind of number.
Right.
And of course there might be a basement as well if anyone wants to go down and check in the cellar. It's always a good idea.
It's rude to go unless you're invited.
So, Steph, the main news item is a dispute going on between the unions and the Stratemeyer Corporation. You had heard that there was some sort of conflict going on between the two. Stratemeyer are basically trying to muscle in on a corporate level into the Dream, and they have put the backup of the unions. So that'll be the dock workers, the pilots, all those kind of people. And there's talk of a possible strike and blockade at the moment.
Is there any stories about the Evangelical Solario Church as well? Because they were involved with all this goings on, weren't they?
There'll be an advert for them.
With a contact number?
Yep, that'll be on there. Yep.
I'll kind of save that, and I'll kind of ping that to the rest of them and say, these were becoming involved with some of this stuff. So maybe we should check this out as well at some point and sort of send them the advert. But there's no other for the Stratemeyer Syndicate. There's no other apart from general stuff about them having a fallout with the unions because of what they're trying to do. There's no other kind of talking heads of people in the Stratemeyer Syndicate or anything like that, or people we can identify that are associated with it.
No, not really. In fact, there's quite a few vox pops with union people, but nothing. The Stratemeyer Corporation has declined to comment. We invited them on the show, but they declined to comment, sort of thing.
Okie doke. Yeah, I'll kind of make some notes on it. And then we didn't actually do any research on that corporation, did we, before we got here?
No, I don't think so. No.
So I'll just, I guess, using my ePad or whatever sort of computing equipment I've got, start, digging around the Stratemeyer Corporation. Just to, obviously they've said no comment on all the public news feeds. So try and dig a bit deeper and just trying to find out more information about them. Exactly, does anyone know who they are? Are there any rumors about them? Any information or intel which we could prove useful to, if we meet any of their goons at some point, we could drop some information so that they would realize we're bona fide, if you like, so we can have some credentials about us, about their organization.
Okay, yeah. What I'll do, I'll put a report together for you for that. I'll get that and I'll send that over to you. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, so I'll spend I don't know what it is to sort of do all that. That's what I'll be doing in the room for the first couple of hours, because I'm guessing we're going out later at night rather than earlier in the evening. So yeah, that's what I'll be doing.
Okie doke.
Yeah, Harris is going to do something very similar. Go and look for a favourable looking bunk. Go and chill out for a bit.
All right.
I'm gonna spend the time before we go out a couple of hours checking through my kit, just make sure that customs haven't taken anything out of it. Yeah, that everything's still there.
Yeah, everything's in place. Yeah, it's obviously been rummaged through a bit, but it's all there. Yep.
Daft's gonna, once he's finished kind of monitoring the street, gonna go back, unpack in his room, maybe he's probably going to move the room about a little bit. Like make sure the bed's got the wall on the left. Hang up all of his neatly like ironed designer shirts and.
Harris isn't too fond of the weird urine smell from the decontamination zone, so he's going to go about giving himself a bit of a clean up, I think. Gonna have a little bit of a shower, sort himself out. So maybe there's something to sort his clothes out a little bit.
Okay, so you strip off, you get into the shower. As you open the little plastic door, red centipede disappears down the plug hole.
I'm going to be like, God, bloody hell, bloody red centipede again. Centipede, and I'm going to be a bit cautious about turning the shower on.
You're going to like tap it before you are not staying quite under it. Have you ever seen a film called Squirm?
Yeah.
Catch the next one.
Okay, yeah, you're fine. The water comes on. It takes a while to warm up. The pipes bang and clatter and all that sort of thing. As I say, you're not in a top grade place here, but it is generally clean and functional. So, yeah, you can have a shower, and there's no repeat of centipede activity.
I'm going to capture the next one. I'm going to make sure I've got an evidence bag with me. They might be bugs.
Bugs as bugs. I like it.
Back with the pamphlets. Is there any local watering holes nearby? Any bars that that are within a radius, but it's like easy to get to? Any looking particularly notorious? Any with a bit of a rep? That sort of like top of the pamphlet. You should go here.
My original thought with this plan is to go to literally like the pub on the corner. Just keep an eye out to see if we can spot someone who's potentially just dealing, and then just find someone to build a rapport up with. Maybe keep in contact for a couple of days, buy off them a couple of times, and then see if we can get to their supplier.
We have spent over a week on cramped into some little ship as well.
Yes, very true. With no alcohol, because I don't think there was any on board.
We had lots of fun.
I feel it's made us closer. I feel like we've had an adventure already, but to the bar, if there is one.
Yeah, it's after. Yeah, if we're waiting a couple of hours, then yeah, head out.
Yeah, you guys are all a bit intense. Let me do the talking with my +20 to social.
Yeah. If you forgot your shirt, you do know that's a fine already. First round's on you.
I've got one packed.
I think we all packed one each, didn't we? I've certainly brought mine.
I'm going to load up my credit stick with a bit extra. Are they actual physical like sticks?
You get two forms. So there'll be like a little sort of USB stick, or there'll be like a card. So it'll be one or the other. You'll probably have the stick type. And yeah, that's basically what you pay for in shops and other things.
And you just carry that around in your pocket, do you?
Yes, and that has to be on you. Or basically, if you get stopped and they'll ask to see that, and if you haven't got it, then it's a fine at the very least.
Just handy to know that everybody wandering around has got cash on them in their pocket that I can get hold of if I need it.
Spoken like a true Londoner.
Never carry a weapon. Somebody's always got one you can use.
There you go. There you go. Okay, so at 10 p.m. you're going to go out for a wander, dressed in Hawaiian style. What sort of place are you looking for? Do you want to get something else to eat, or you just want a straight up bar, strip club, casino, fast food?
Yeah, Matt will be kind of relaxed about everything, but it's like just almost kind of through training. He's just he's listening at doors as he walks past, and kind of like in an Airbnb, if he sees a mirror, he's putting his finger on it just to see if it's it's really reflective, and but it just comes across as just he's bored, moving tints around. Yeah, just through it comes across as sheer boredom, but it's just kind of like rattling.
I'll do the bit in the corridor between the rooms and explain like an air hostess where our escape routes are.
Do you want to do that as like standard operating procedure? Anytime you're coming out or going back to the guest house, you just run that counter surveillance stuff as a matter of course. We'll take that as read. So if there is anything unusual, I'll let you know. So what's it going to be then? Well, there's Hot Shots, which is a sort of bar cocktail coffee. Or if you want to go slightly more stag, there's the Blue Cat, which is a strip joint.
Yeah, I think let's start off in Hot Shots. See if we can stomach the rest of the night. We're all still like space jet lagged and probably half asleep.
Yeah, I think Eric sits back after the initial and realizes we're not actually here on a stag do. We're actually meant to be doing some work and surveillance. So actually, yeah, he sort of think, yeah, that's a really good idea. Yeah. I think, yeah, taking it a bit easy at the start, I think is probably good. And yeah, he kind of has that little mental note that he's not actually on a stag do.
I agree with Daffy. You may somewhere local. Just make sure that we're not being surveilled as well. I'll run counter surveillance.
Yes, you're going to be a bit knackered, actually. I mean, given the stress of the voyage as well, you had a sort of few days to recover, but even those few days, you were on that cramped ship with the thought, what if it left another one in the vent system, kind of thing. No one checked. Okay, so it's into hot shots. And do you want to crack into the cocktails? Do you want beers? Do you want coffees? It's a fairly laid-back place. Again, certainly not upmarket, but it's it's not spit and sawdust. It's reasonably busy. I mean, given that it's a Monday night, it's not packed, but it's reasonably busy. Most of the clientele are male, and you would peg most of them as probably being dock workers. You got a bit of a selection of beers. The most common one, the local one, is Pitt's Ale.
I'm going to be drinking basically non-alcoholic drinks, but like the 0% versions, like 0% Guinness or something like that. So, yeah, drinking, but obviously trying to keep my wits about me a bit. So not basically drinking, but 0% stuff.
4 pits and an alcohol-free Guinness, please, sir.
They've got one of those, just the one, but they have got one. Yeah, he wipes the dust off of the pub, gives you a bit of a look, but whatever. You're spending money, right?
There's always one in every stag group.
Designated driver. Okay, so you grab a table, sit and start drinking. No one's taking any notice of you. There's some piped music going on, low murmur of conversation. There's a sort of big TV screen in one corner showing some sort of UFC type fighting match going on.
You're a pool table.
Yeah, there'll be a pool table.
Oh, how'd you put your credit stick down on for the next game?
You go to the bar and you buy some counters.
I'll get us some counters.
Okay.
I think maybe after like 10-15 minutes or so, Daph's going to approach a group of people who look like they're just here after work, or they're not here on like a special occasion or anything. Try and kind of just initiate small talk, ask them what's going on. Does Prospero's Dream have like a football team or a rugby team perhaps?
Okay, yeah, you can get chatting to them. They're friendly enough. Yeah, there's a few sports stadiums on the Dream. The big ones are over at Cloud9. There's regular sports on the TV channels. There'll be a local soccer and rugby teams. There's a lot of UFC boxing type stuff going on as well. And then, of course, there's the gladiatorial combat as well. Televised live every Saturday night from the court.
Yeah, and then sort of maybe after a while when I'm kind of socially embedded within the group, I'll just be like, oh yeah, me and some of my mates, we're here for a stag on the Dream. We're only here for like, maybe a couple of weeks, but we were kind of hoping to get some of the special stuff. Do you know anyone who might be able to get in contact about that?
Oh well, who's the unlucky man? Who's the condemned man?
You're looking at him.
Oh, well, it depends what sort of thing you're looking for, really. I mean, there's the blue cat, or if you want something a little more touchy-feely, there's the narrow valley round the corner.
I'm thinking something I might need to get in contact with someone about.
They're not really sure what you mean.
Drugs, mate. I want some drugs. No, I'll just be. Oh yeah, no, that sounds great. I think we're heading to the Blue Cat in a bit anyway, but maybe I'll see you around there.
Oh, well, let's buy you a drink first. Get a drink for the condemned man.
Yes.
Whiskey.
You know what? Stick a fiver down on Kilgore, whoever's fighting in the arena in the UFC. Yeah, and then I'll probably just end up coming back to the group and just like, well, this place seems a little bit dead. We could try moving on to.
Let's take a visit to the Blue Cat. Scope it out for like an hour, and if we get nothing out of that, then we'll come back. But let's just see if we can just be out and about a little bit, be seen, talk to a few people, and then you never know, something may come up. But if it doesn't, then we can head back, put our heads down, and then try and gather some more intel about because most places there's a kind of an area you go to where if you want that kind of stuff, then you can get it. So we can find that out as well if needed.
Yeah, but I mean, I'll go with the crowd. I mean, I was quite looking forward to Club Tropicana or Cat or whatever.
Yeah, so true. Staff stifles a yawn and then is like, yeah, let's go then.
Yeah, I'm ready to move on to the Cat if everyone else is. Yeah.
Oh, you don't walk up and say, "Can I buy some drugs from you now?"
I've never bought drugs from a place like this. I'm a doctor.
Man known as the pharmacist.
Yeah.
All right, it's round to the Blue Cat then. It's just round the corner. You hear as you approach louder music. There's a couple of doormen. You've got to pay to get in. They look you up and down, let you in. The drinks here are more expensive, of course. And yeah, it's a strip club. There's 3 stages with girls performing. And what are you going to be drinking here?
Get a standard drink, I guess. But is there a, kind of mingle a little bit and is there just observe a little bit about what's going on? Is there any sort of groups of people watching others? Anyone that's kind of disappearing into the toilets with someone else, and then coming back out with rubbing their nose or anything like that, where it's indicative of maybe some sort of level of drug use or low level kind of stuff.
I'll go to the bar, grab 5 pints, take them back to the table and say, "Here you go, but drink slowly. Make it last." And I'll go back to the bar on the pretense of getting 5 shots to take back to the table. But I'm going to be doing the same, watching for obvious dealings and the type of person that's likely to be doing that type of thing from my background.
So Todd would definitely pick up on this, and the rest of you would as well, I'd imagine, to a large extent. There's a couple of different types of clientele in here. There's the bloke sat on his own with his hands in his pockets. There's a few of those. And there's some other clientele not so much watching the girls, but talking around tables. Some quite hefty looking guys, some of them.
I'll try and identify the bodyguards from the principals.
That's pretty straightforward from what you'd see. The principals are the ones sitting there relaxed and chatting. The bodyguards are scanning, much like you're scanning yourself. But you can pick that up. Now, it's not necessarily obvious that you're scanning because obviously this is your environment, so you don't need to roll anything. And it's not likely they'll spot you scanning because you know how to blend in. But they're definitely scanning. You're scanning, they're scanning.
I'm glad that background that I wrote came in.
Almost made to measure, that is, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm looking for the dealer out of all of these after identifying each individual sort of section.
While you're doing that, now you'll all probably notice this because he's quite a character that stands out quite a lot. This guy comes in and his whole head is tattooed with like a skull. And he just walks straight in and he walks up to the bar. There's a very brief conversation with the barman and something gets handed over to him. And on the way out, one of those bosses that Todd noticed, as a little nod goes between them.
Is it possible to get as we're a stag do, see this guy walk in? We're all sort of having a chat, talking. So let's get some photos. So I want to get some photos, but make sure that he's in the background.
Okay. Let's make a roll. Let's put it on intelligence. No, we'll keep it a normal roll because it's not ideal photographic conditions and there's a little distance away. But, you know, unless you're sticking it right up in his face kind of thing, he's not going to notice.
Yeah, I just want to kind of get him in the background surreptitiously. Like we're all having a good time, take his photos, take a selfie, all that kind of stuff amongst us. And because what I want to do is run it through a facial recognition software and then basically try and figure out who he is and blah, blah, blah.
Okay. All right. Make a roll for me. Tell me what you get.
I got 11 out of my intellect is 42.
Well, an 11 is a very good roll because that's a double. So yeah, you get a excellent picture of the just the side of Daph's face and a bit of his shoulder, with this guy beautifully framed in the middle, and none of it's like if you were trying to take a good picture of the group, this would be absolutely awful.
Yeah,
you know, it's a terrible photo, but for your purposes, it's perfect.
Got exactly what I wanted.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, and I'll kind of make sure they get saved. I carry on as if nothing's happened. Take a few more pictures in other angles and stuff that we don't have a minute, obviously, just to sort of carry on the pretense, and then we'll sit down and pretend to drink a shot. Hey, here we are. Way, and then when he's left, I'll kind of make sure it's saved and start running it through any software I can get when I get back.
Okie doke. Good.
Perfect.
Can Aris take 2 of the shots and go over to one of the girls who looks like they've got the most issues and see if she'll come and give him a lap dance in one of the private booths?
You can certainly do that if you've got the credits. She's got the time.
I got a few credits. I got 50 credits on me, but I don't know how much the.
50 would.
Or a bit more than that. To be fair, I never really specified how much was on my stick, so let's say 100.
Okay, yeah, 100 will get you a quick dance.
I was going to say, so your character's the kind that goes for the really vulnerable ones.
In this instance.
Okay.
That's terrible, but understandable in the circumstances.
Yeah. And what my aim is to do is to have a little chat with her while I'm in the booth with her, away from prying eyes, and see if I can get some information on the skull individual. Does she know who he is? Does she know what he's here for? Any information I can possibly gather on the skull individual.
Have you got any particular social skill on your background?
I specialise in psychology, but I'm not sure if that's necessary.
Yeah, you got your psychology, haven't you? So I would think,
expert in psychology. If you're happy with that, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So no need to roll then for that.
Yeah, okay.
It's just a question of how much she actually knows. To be honest, if you invite her to sit down and give her a drink, she's probably happy to get off her feet for 10 minutes.
I'll just sit her down in the booth, not even have the lap dance. You're right, love, how you doing? You look like you could have a rest.
That works. That's Hobbs, the guy with the thing. Yeah, that's Hobbs.
Who's Hobbs? Is that his first name?
It's just Hobbs.
Just Hobbs. What does he get up to around here?
Well, the girls try and avoid him generally.
Why is that?
He's not a nice man to be around.
Well, is he involved in something he shouldn't be?
Well, I mean, yeah. She starts looking a little bit fidgety and nervous.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not gonna push too hard because I don't want.
Hey, Aris, enough of the 3rd degree. What about another round? And what's your name, love?
Sonia,
get yourself something nice as well.
Daph's come into this private booth, has he?
He's doing a medical check.
Sorry, that's just Daff. He likes to watch these things. We can't explain him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, if he wants something with a couple of girls, I'm sure we can organise that.
But it doesn't look like she's going to give any more information. She's too uncomfortable with the conversation around questioning.
If you could maybe phrase something in a slightly different way, perhaps.
Maybe does she know where we can? Does she have any idea where I can potentially score some gear for the stag? As we're looking to make this a more fun evening for him.
Yes. Well, there she can help you. If you go out, you'll see a guy over in the corner, sat on his own at the end of the bar. Have a chat with him.
Brilliant. And then I'm just going to carry on with what's going on, and then so as not to raise any suspicion by immediately walking out. And then once I come out, I'll relay the information. Or I'll go back over. Hey lads, you all right? Act like I'm just returning to the stag. And then as I come in, I'll relay the information. That skull-faced man's called Hobbs, and if we want to score some gear, that bloke over there, and point to the man at the end of the bar.
Sure enough, you can see a sort of youngish man sat at the end of the bar on his own. He's wearing shades, he's got a dark jacket on. He's just nursing a drink.
I was going to do, while he was lap dancing, I was going to do a similar chat with the barman after the scold man had left, explaining that, yeah, we're here for a very long few weeks of a stag do, so maybe after some party favours, if you know where.
All right, well, if you want, we can hook you up with some of the girls. That's no problem. Something special for the condemned man.
Oh, and maybe something to keep him going a little bit longer.
Well, we can probably get some blueies in for him. Yeah, no problem.
Anything a little bit heavier?
You want to speak to that chap up there? And he points to the guy at the end of the bar again.
Okay. Thanks. 5 more shots and take one for yourself.
Oh, very kind of you.
Probably arrive back at the same table at the same time as our man from his private dance does. Our private dancer.
Did you say the man with the skeletal tattoo? He, as we were taking the photo, he was leaving.
Yeah, basically, you got him just. He was turning round, so just timed very nicely. You got a sort of full face shot of him.
I know. I'm really reluctant to kind of split the party. We're all going everywhere, but as there's dancing going on and there's questioning and stuff, is there any way I'm an old man that I just head to the door for a breath of fresh air? The music's too loud. I just, I'm talking to the bouncers. I just want to casually see where this guy's going.
Okay, yeah, you can get out, and you'll probably just in time see the back of him disappearing round the corner, kind of thing.
That's it was just in case there was like something happening outside, but I'll just make my excuses to the doorman. Polite little chat. It's loud in there, full of kids. Some of those, it could be my daughter. They're so young. But wow, they've got moves. And then that's it. Offer him a cigarette, and then pop back in.
I'm going to try and do some dad dancing.
Are you dancing on your own, or are you going to ask a lady to dance?
Yeah, I'm going to dance my own because I think I'm good enough that actually a lady will come and dance with me without me asking.
Funnily enough, that's exactly what happens.
See, I still got it.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, she engaged you in small talk because she's dancing with you and around you very provocatively.
And yeah, I'll basically just do some a bit of dance that in my big Hawaiian shirt and and then start talking to whichever lady comes up to me, just about the local area. But no, about what do you want to do? How's this place? Is it good to work here? Yeah, just trying to make small talk, basically.
Yeah, if you want to go into one of the booths, certainly. Follow me.
Make a roll.
And she gives you a price. Or she gives you a price list.
Oh, right, okay. I want the bottom one for now.
Do you want to rephrase that?
She doesn't do a try before you buy, does she?
Take 3 minutes off.
Or maybe you don't want to rephrase that. I mean, you've been a long time in space. And
I'm all a bit confused. It's all a bit much. I'll go for the cheapest option.
All right.
For now.
Okay. So it's a lap. You get a lap dance basically. And...
Yeah.
Okay.
And just basically, just try and spark. Don't ask her any questions about anything odd, but try and spark a relationship. So I mean, what I'm thinking long term is having a contact. So if we're here for a little while, I can then come back, talk to her, build a relationship with her, and then maybe get some information out of her. So ask her her name, how long she's been here, that kind of stuff. Just but take the dance, all fine, but nothing seedy. Not is a lap dance seedy, I guess it is. But just the dance. But trying to basically start a rapport, because what I intend to do is come back and see the same girl to then build that relationship.
All right. Well, she tells you her name is Jax
Jax,
with an X.
of course.
You get a nice lap dance, and are you sure there's nothing else I can do for you?
No. But it was really, really pleasant. And I'll shake her hand.
Okay. Oh, gentlemen.
As the transaction's been completed.
Are you telling her your name?
I'll tell her I'm Eric. That's the
Okay.
name. That's a pretty common
Right.
name. And that hopefully we're going to be here for a little while, but I'll hopefully catch you again.
Yeah, drop by any time, Eric.
Stay safe. Stay safe.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll when I get back to the table, Harris. The guy in the corner on the bar, as you pointed out as well. It's definitely a dealer or somebody we can buy stuff from. I think maybe leave it a couple more nights before we actually approach and do anything. We're here for a while. Let's settle in first rather than just hit it straight away.
I think Daff, while all of these guys are kind of in and around doing their own little things, I think Daff's probably going to be circling the room a little bit, just dipping in and out of odd groups. Obviously not doing anything to draw the ire of any kind of bouncers or anything.
Dipping in any more private booths, you may.
Yeah.
Hello.
Just being but well, I think it was the word booth that threw me off, because what I remember is we came in here and all sat in a booth together. So I thought you just brought this dancer into our booth.
Just imagine going through loads of wrong curtains. Not finding in the right one.
This curtain looks so inviting. I'm gonna have a look in there.
But yeah, I'm a bit like Eric. I'm not asking any pointed questions or anything, but is there any remaining information from this place kind of floating around the room that Daff could pick up?
If you get near to one of the tables where the guys in the expensive suits are chatting, the chat stops and everyone turns and looks at you.
Yeah, no. So he's avoiding any kind of unwanted attention. It's more kind of like social groups or any other kind of like groups of lads or.
Not really. Most of it's men on their own.
No worries. Then just come and join these guys. Probably every now and then having a cig outside, chatting to the bouncers.
Yeah, the bouncers are chatty enough. They ask you, who's the condemned man when you tell them it's a stag do. Seems to be the running theme.
Yeah, but he's gonna tell them it's Mac.
Oh, right. Wow. I guess there's hope for all of us.
Yeah.
No flicker of emotion, just a slow blink. That's not even a risk.
Fair play to you, mate. They say. Well, if you want a good night out, you want to get in Caesars. Have a go on the tables.
Why? What happens in Caesars? Anything anything for an old dog like me?
Well, if you're feeling lucky, you want to chance your arm with the dice or the roulette or the blackjack. I do a good meal in there. They've got dancers and other delights. Whatever your tastes run to, I'm sure you'll find it in Caesars.
Ah, fantastic. Well, the way the night's going, we'll end up paying for all these dancers through Klarna or something. So, no, that's some. Thank you. I'm at the mercy of the group, it seems. So, and then he just pats Daff on the back.
And then we'll probably just wander back inside, and presumably the whole group will gather back together in a public booth, not a private booth.
Time for another round, or are you going to call it a night?
I think we kind of. I feel like I've kind of done everything I can. And if we're a stag do, we've already spent a bit of time in here, and normally you'd move on anyway to somewhere else. So I'm happy to sort of call it a night and go back, unless anyone's got something specific they want to try and do.
Yeah, I think we could safely exit here with the guys. We were going somewhere else, couldn't we?
Yeah, but just make sure we've got, maybe pull the same trick again, see if we can get a description / photo of this guy who has been pointed out as a dealer.
At the end of the bar, the one at the end of the bar. Well,
yeah.
Is sat there, is immobile, so it's going to be easier, but he is sort of sat back in the shadows a little bit.
Maybe one of us could approach him and ask for his number in case we wanted to score stuff later.
And let's leave it a couple of nights. It's from what I've gathered from the barman. This is his spot and his turf. I don't think we need a photo or arouse suspicion. I think.
Yeah.
If he's always going to be here, then we can just come back and. I think once we've been seen a couple of times, then maybe second or third time we then sort of maybe next time nod at him as we walk in, da da da, and then take it from there. Subtle approach.
Sounds good.
Yeah, exactly. Let's get our credentials sorted, as it were.
Unless Daft just wants to wander over again and just ask him for drugs.
Don't tempt me. He is about 6 pints deep at this point.
What a great idea.
Yeah. If Todd sees him wandering towards him, he's just going to put a hand on his shoulder and steer him towards the door.
Next bar, but actually, I think we'll go back to the hotel.
Yeah, let's head back to Hassini's corner.
Okay, so back through the market. You've eaten already, but if you did want to grab something, there's a load of fast food places still open.
Keep an eye out for Hobbs or tattooed thing.
Okay.
On the way, just in case spot him up the street or anything.
Yep. If he's around, he's not difficult to miss. He's about 6'4", and obviously with the tattoo, he stands out in the crowd. But there's no sign of him. Your counter surveillance you're running doesn't pick anything up. So you get back to the guest house. You've been given the code for the door, and you're in and up to your rooms. Did you want to do anything else before retiring?
I was gonna the picture I got of Hobbs. I'm gonna crop it so that we've got that decent picture, and then I'm going to. Do we have access to any? I don't know. Non-public servers around running people's facial recognition, past crime history, anything like that, known contacts, like basically we have access to police access records or anything like that in terms of AT5?
Not from just on your ePad. You wouldn't be logged into that, but it's something you could possibly ask Mrs. K about.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll kind of crop it all, get it ready, and then in the morning, that's what I'll talk to her about.
Righty ho. Okay, so 0800 the next morning, you're down into the dining room, and there's quite a few people coming in there or sitting there already eating or starting their breakfast. Mrs. K comes in, asks if you had a good night, a restful evening.
Yeah, it was great. And I basically then at some point I'll take her through how do I access this person's data and history.
Oh, we'll have a word with Maeve when she comes in. She'll probably be here in a minute. She's a SFPD. She's a friend of mine. So this is some of the people we've got at the breakfast. And what Mrs. K will do, she'll sit with you for a while and just sort of, without being obtrusive or showy about it, just sort of mention who these different people are. So we've got one young man sat on his own, Craig Wu. He's looking very nervous. In fact, when you come in, he kind of jumps a little bit and is typing things onto his ePad, but he's being very sort of secretive about it. He's got it angled away from anyone.
Has he got a Cyber Ear Tendy Flame Wire 5?
He has, in fact. Yes, you picked that up very quickly. Yes. Do you want to tell us about that?
This is it like an in-ear thing?
It's like half of his ear sort of thing.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So it gives enhanced audio reception and records small chunks of audio to his inbuilt memory. So I guess he can hear a lot of things that are going on around in this tea house.
Yes.
Or around a breakfast table, for example. But it could also be a useful asset if we can get him to maybe do some work for us if needed, to sit near people and things like that, in bars or whatever.
Mrs. K explains that he's a journalist. He's an investigative journalist and has been staying here for just over a week now. So she doesn't know what he's doing, but very much keeps himself to himself. And so it seems to avoid contact with people. Next along, we have Mr. Shimsak, who's an older gentleman. He teaches at a local school. We have Sammy, Tyra, and Jenna, who work at Caesars. We have the twins who are sitting there eating in silence. She's not sure exactly what they do. Adio, Dean, and Cassia are dock workers. They're sitting there chatting. Dean especially seems very animated, very smiley. In fact, when he sees you looking over, he goes, hi guys.
No one waves back.
Yeah, Mac turns his back.
I'll just put up a hand. Morning.
He doesn't look artificially happy, does he?
No, I wouldn't say artificially, but over smiley, very smiley.
The teacher, does she know what subject he teaches?
She thinks he teaches history and English. He's been here for about a month. She explains that most of the people who stay here are either coming in, perhaps they're pilots and they stay over while their ships are being turned around. Some of them work for local companies. The dock workers are obviously working at the docks. But again, they're often working on quite short-term contracts, perhaps, or that sort of thing. So they might stay for 6 months, then they'll move on.
And you say the 3 girls work at Caesar's?
Yes.
Well, that could be a cheap ticket in then.
Yeah, they're sort of waitresses and bar staff at Caesar's. And it's about that time when another older lady comes in a SFPD uniform, comes over and gives Mrs. K a hug. And she introduces her. She actually brings her to your table. This is my friend Maeve. She's the captain of the local security force.
Ah, pleasure to meet you, Maeve.
Mm-hmm. Likewise.
I'm hoping you might be able to help me with some investigations I'm doing about a particular gentleman, and I'll kind of show her a picture.
I'm going to put my hand quickly on Eric's shoulder. Careful. Remember the guy with the ears, the journalist?
Yeah. I'm only asking her for help. Haven't mentioned her name yet. But yeah.
Daff, with his sunglasses on, head in his hands, he's like, "You guys are all talking too loud anyway."
That bacon is crackling really loud.
Maybe after breakfast we could have a we could have a discussion with you. It'd be very useful to get your insights.
She looks at her watch. Yeah, sure. I'll be here about another half hour before I'm going down to the outpost. So yeah. Catch me later. I'll be in the kitchen with Mrs. K having a cup of tea. Oh, that reminds me. Mrs. K says I got a message came in from Skinner. He said he'll meet you at Maury's Bar and Grill at 1300 today.
That sounds amazing.
I'm just going to sit at the table next to Daff and keep banging cutlery and slamming it down.
At some point towards the end of breakfast, Daff turns green and sprints upstairs.
Watch out for the centipedes.
When you do make it up, when you huey into the bowl, when you look, there's a red centipede floating on top.
As in I've thrown it up, or it was in the bowl and I've thrown up on top of it.
Did you stop and look before you hurled?
I can make a roll.
You didn't. Given that you've got to get all the way up the stairs, by the time you get there, it's coming out your ears and nose. So.
Well, I have got zoology, I think, as a skill. Let's have a look. Yeah, I've got biology as a skill. Can I see if I can identify?
Yeah, make a roll. Make a roll. Let's see what you get.
Yep, that's a success. Not a critical, but success.
What did you get?
36 under a 57.
Okay. Seems like a plain common or garden centipede. Obviously, colour can vary from species to species. It's not over large for its type. It's a centipede, basically. Just happens to be quite a vivid red colour. That could be due to environmental factors, could be due to radiation, could be due to a number of things.
Okay.
But it's not something that you would look at and think, oh my God.
Yeah. Not to be the biology graduate in the room, but is there, like, what's the woodland or kind of like natural life like around the dream? Are like the odd tree dotted around for oxygen, or
there's in this area there's a couple of quite small parks. There are more larger parks in the more upmarket areas. Do they live on rotting wood, centipedes? Is that their kind of natural sort of thing?
Yeah, they eat wood and bits of dirt and fungus and stuff.
It's unusual to see it in such an urban setting, perhaps. Like if you were in a cabin in the woods, So it is unusual from that respect. You wouldn't expect to find one in an apartment block necessarily, unless maybe there's a big pile of rotten wood in the cellar or something like that.
Second time the cellar's been mentioned.
Mm.
But no, from there I think Daft's probably gonna raid his own little medical supply, get some hyperparacetamol, have a shower, kind of start feeling a bit more human again, get ready for the day. While I'm assuming you guys are chatting to a Maeve in the kitchen.
I'm going to keep an eye on Craig. Nervousness makes me nervous. So, yeah, I'll kind of have, sympathy for Daff, but I'll just be having one eye on a guy with tech in his ears and looking scatty. I wouldn't mind taking my plate of food and sitting next to Craig, if that's all right.
Oh, okay. Well, you approach him and he immediately sort of bristles and a look of panic comes into his eyes.
In full overconfidence and yet incredibly tired, hungover, will just sit at the table with his plate and just kind of sit back, and just not even making eye contact, just start chewing and out the side of his mouth, just kind of go, how you finding the dream?
Is obviously a bit freaked out by this, and he shuts his e-pad and he gets up and he leaves half his breakfast unfinished.
Well, I'll just finish my breakfast then.
Finishes as well if you like.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. I'll take some off his plate, just some of the good stuff. Yeah.
Jazz comes out and asks if any of you want anything else. Do you want any more toast or anything else? More coffee, tea, you know?
Oh, another coffee would be great.
Okay.
And I'm going to
Yep.
sort of turn around in my chair to face the three ladies. So Mrs. Kerr says you ladies work at Caesar's.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, actually, it's our day off today. We're heading up to Cloud9 to do some shopping.
Yep.
Oh, good shops up there, Robert.
Well, yeah.
Oh, well, we need to do a bit. We're here, mate. His stag there. You can see he's already had enough already. Oh, his face down, head in hands in the table, and gone rushing out the room. I think we gave him too much, but we're thinking of coming up to Caesar's. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well, yeah. Bring the condemned man with you. You know, we'll make sure he gets some special treatment.
Oh, just what we was hoping. I'll turn back.
So everyone's finishing their breakfast. They're getting up and leaving now. Maeve is still hanging around. Obviously, Mrs. K is still there. Oh, she does say there's one other person who's not here at the moment. There's a lady who comes in and does cleaning for me. Tech. If you see her, you might bump into her, you know, as you're coming in and out. Please don't speak to her unless she speaks to you.
Does she clean all the rooms?
Yes.
Top floor as well?
Yes. I'll let you know if your place is being cleaned. If you don't want it clean, you clean it yourself. That's fine, as long as you do keep it clean. Obviously, I understand you might have sensitive materials up there.
If you can let her know, yeah, not to clean upstairs. We'll keep on top of that.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, but if you do see her, then if you could just, you know, it's not rude to ignore her. She'll prefer that.
I think Daff has got rid of all his sensitive materials over up the stairs and across the bath. But yeah, he'll just give like a polite nod and.
So Maeve comes back out again, and it's just you there now, and Mrs. K is hanging around still. You had something you want to ask me. Now, look, I don't know who you are, but I kind of do. And I'll echo what I'm sure Mrs. K has already told you. If I don't need to know, I don't want to know. Where I can, I'll help. But just be aware that you're on Prospero's dream. This is not a normal law enforcement situation.
Yep, that's absolutely fine. I think our interaction with you will probably just be about getting if you've got any local intel about maybe people we've come across, etc. We won't involve you. We don't need to tell you anything, as you've said. It's more just hopefully, if you're a friend of Mrs. Core, then you're a friend of ours, obviously, and we may be able to help you in some cases as well as things come up with things that maybe you're not quite clear about or you can't quite deal with yourselves for whatever reason. Then maybe we could step in and help. So if hopefully it'll be a bit of a quid pro quo in terms of intelligence gathering, sharing, and then we can help you as needed in certain situations, I'm sure. Because we have my colleagues, even though they may not look at this morning, they do have a particular specialist set of skills, and it's not drinking, as you can tell by two of them. But they are a good bunch. And what I wanted to talk to you about, and obviously looking around, making sure there's no one else within earshot or anything like that. And I'll show her the picture of, was it Hobbs? Yeah, and say now this character obviously I'm assuming is well known around here because I mean you don't walk around like that without being well known, and you don't have tattoos of a skull all over your face for being like a good Samaritan. So I'm assuming he's kind of involved with elements of the underworld around here, maybe a big player, maybe mid-level, maybe low level. I'm just interested to know who he works for, what's he involved with, the intel you may have on him, really, what he's involved with.
Well, yeah, that's definitely Hobbs. And basically, he's a collector and enforcer for the Aztec kings. They run out of Club Nebula.
Aztec kings. And in terms of their racket, is it just the standard prostitution, drugs, smuggling, that kind of stuff, or do they have anything particular which they're involved with?
Mostly drugs. Mostly drugs. In fact, they're the biggest drug dealing gang in this sector.
Ah. And then run out, was it the Nebula Club?
The Club Nebula, yeah.
Nebula.
We're getting word of something new that they've been pushing, something called jellymilk.
Jellymilk.
Mm.
Is it had different effects than other drugs that have been on the market previously? Or is it stronger, or is it more deadly?
It's very difficult to say. We have had some cases of people becoming extremely neurotic and violent, but then again, this is Prospero's dream. Neurotic and violent is pretty much par for the course.
Par for the course, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just to give you a sense of what goes on here, just in the last 2 weeks, I've had 6 domestics, 2 gang fights, 5 robberies, possibly a serial killer at large, and the strangest one, a burglar who's dead.
What, dead found after the event or dead during the event?
Well, we don't know. There was a burglary, we lifted prints, and it turns out the prints match a guy who died 2 months ago.
Oh, that kind of. Oh, okay, that's a bit weird.
We're a bit stumped on that one at the moment, but
Yeah.
welcome to the dream.
Yeah. So Hobbs is the collector and enforcer for a gang called the Aztecs who push drugs out of Club Nebula, and one of the big drugs they're pushing at the moment, a new one, is called jellymilk. That's yeah.
Yep.
And okay. Do we know who the head of the Aztecs is? Is there a known protagonist for them?
Yeah, Gregorio Morero.
And I guess the Club Nebula, that's their main base as well, hangout stroke base.
That's their HQ, yeah, as far as we. So,
Okay,
obviously, we've not been able to get in there because to get in, we need a warrant. To get a warrant, I have to go up to my superiors, and they're not interested in giving me a warrant for reasons that we can only speculate, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I really appreciate it. Do they have a rival gang?
Not really in this patch.
No, it's kind of pretty self-contained. They run it, and another patch is ran by another gang. So there's no one trying to impinge on their turf, if you see what I mean. There's none of that kind of activity.
We get friction. There's friction at the borders.
Yeah.
Or there might be, someone said the wrong thing to someone's sister, or that kind of thing. But as far as business goes, they keep things pretty tight and pretty separate.
Okay.
Skinner will probably be able to tell you more about that.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Well, that's great. Thanks for all that. Much appreciated. And like I say, if we can help you with anything, I mean, we've only been here days, but we're probably going to be here for a while, so hopefully we can keep in touch if that's all right.
Yep. If you need anything, you can usually find me here or Security Outpost 27.
Yeah, I'll pass like my individual kind of, not email, but the equivalent of email or whatever we use now.
Okay.
My ePad kind of handle or something like that. So if you need anything, or you get anything which you think could be useful, give us a shout, and vice versa. And then I'll head back to my room.
Good. So you've got a few hours until your scheduled meeting with Skinner. Is there anything in particular you want to do in that time?
Just going to check on Daff, check he's all right.
He's probably gone back to bed.
Nah, I think he's had a couple of paracetamol and obviously fairly hearty breakfast. He's probably feeling a bit more human, rolling around, but it's probably more just hanging out in the flat, just kind of putting the events of last night together in his head. Unless anyone else is going out, he's probably just going to stick around until we move out to meet Skinner at 1.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I'll do a round robin of everyone's flat and also get my shirt back off Aris. Check it's all right. But essentially just kind of, yeah, knowledge share.
Going to bring each other up to speed while we're waiting.
Yeah, do that. Do the whole club. Yeah, and I think your Club Nebula sounds like a interesting proposition at some point.
No, I know some ladies that go in shopping. Yeah, if he wants to.
You going shopping? Are you?
No, I'm not going shopping.
Can't buy vintage.
Yeah, if we bring each other all up to speed, that'll be good. We're all on the same page then.
Would Daff have any prior knowledge of Jellymilk, the Aztecs, or Club Nebula?
No, none of them.
This is still a bit low rent.
Yeah, again, this wouldn't have been on your radar that time. And I mean, Jellymilk possibly could be if that was something that was spread out far and wide, but it's not something you've heard of before.
Okay.
Can start a little bit of rivalry between the border gangs. That's had a little bit of disruption. Won't be the first time that Todd started something like that between corporations.
Okay, so shall we head to Maury's Bar and Grill?
Absolutely.
Oh, that's Skinner, isn't it? Yeah, well, we're meeting him.
We're off to Maury's Bar and Grill, and this sounds like exactly what it says on the tin. It's a bar and grill. There's a big guy on the door. You don't have to pay to get in, but there's a big guy on the door. There's an older man behind the bar and a younger woman who looks to probably be his daughter. There's a few people sat around, eating, drinking, playing cards. There's some slot machines in one corner. There's a couple of people on those. And there's a door on the far side at which a man is standing. And Mac makes this guy straight away out as definitely military background. In fact, you think you might recognize him.
Okay. If I do recognize him, and I think I know what we're talking about, I am not going to publicize it, should we say.
Okay.
So I'll keep that till I can have a quiet word with the guys. Yeah.
So Maury is the bartender, Dolores is the daughter, Nux is the guy on the door. There's this old dude sitting at the bar. The guy with the shades is standing at the other door, and there's assorted people sitting, eating, playing the slot machines.
Is it table service?
It can be, yeah. Dolores will come over and ask you what you'd like. She'll run through the specials of the day. It's all basically pub grub stuff. The drinks, you've got Pitt's Ale, you've got Merck's Lubricant, you've got Johnny Scar's Cup of Juice, Red Planet Whiskey Shots or Spacer's Coffee.
Oh, I mind grabbing a coffee. I'm probably wary at this point and sticking to the back of the group, but I wouldn't mind a brew.
Yeah, I think Daff's very quietly ordering a very strong coffee.
Coffee and meat.
Yeah, coffee and a burger.
Yeah, I think coffee and something light to eat. Coffee and a burger.
Yeah, I think coffee and bar pretzels.
I'll shake my heads at the heathens and have a cup of tea with a sandwich.
Milk in first, obviously, because you're an animal.
No. Milk in after.
She takes your order and that'll be with you in a few minutes.
Okay.
So, yeah, at the tables around you, there's 4 workers playing cards, 2 male, 2 female. There's a guy playing the slot machines. You've got that old guy sat at the bar. He looks like he's staring at you, that guy, perhaps. There's a couple of other people come in. Again, they all have the look of maybe dock workers or shop workers coming in here for lunch kind of crowd.
If it's kind of quiet, like we've got a moment to speak, like it doesn't look like anyone's listening in, I'll probably lean in for like a tiny bit of a huddle, and I'd probably just keep people on alert and just kind of point that guy out, and just say, look, I've never really seen that guy from. If I am right, I think that is IS. I think that's it, internal security. Think of them as kind of like, I don't know, it's like the service's own kind of secret police. They basically they don't show up somewhere without a reason, and there's never a good reason for them to show up.
Does he appear? Does he appear to be watching us, or is it just he's in the area?
Is standing with his back to the door on the far side of the room and is looking at nothing and everything. He's got mirror shades on. It's definitely clocked you.
Just seems a bit of a coincidence, doesn't it?
Look, I've got to say, I don't know him personally, but he's got a reputation, shall we say. He is not a cool cookie. He's quite harsh.
And this isn't someone that's on our side, right? This is internal security for Prospero's dream. They don't know, or they shouldn't know who we are, what we're up to.
Internal security, I wouldn't say Gestapo quite, but that's probably their nickname.
That's it. If we're meant to meet someone here, I'm very wary if this guy's here.
What sort of weather is it like outside? I don't know. Is it like warm, sunny?
It's constant temperature in the day.
Just comfortable.
Of just comfortable. Yeah.
Are there tables outside?
No.
This door is standing in front of. Is it marked with anything to say where it leads to?
It just says private.
Ah, right. Okay. Not the toilets then.
So he could be guarding that door rather than looking for us. Do you know what I mean? His purpose could be to be standing by that door because there's someone else having a meeting in there, rather than him being there while we're having a meeting. You see what I mean?
Yeah, possible. I see what you mean. Yeah. Do we know what Skinner looks like?
No. You've not seen any picture of him or anything else.
Well, look a bit suspicious if we get up and leave. So I think.
Oh, I finished our teas, sandwiches, and if someone else comes to meet us, then they come to meet us, don't they? But as long as we've made him, then we can keep an eye on him.
Yeah.
The door opens and a guy hurries out, rushes across and out of the bar. The door closes behind him. He doesn't take any notice of you or anyone else.
Does Frost follow?
Nope, Frost stays where he is. You notice the old boy at the bar, when the door opens and someone comes out, he sort of half stands up. And then when the door shuts again, he sits back down.
In what we might interpret to be like a military style reaction, or in just as a more of a surprise, or he's waiting for someone?
Eagerness followed by disappointment, you would say. Aris would probably pick that up quite plainly.
Does someone want to go over to the old boy and kind of maybe pay for the bill, and while they're there, try and ask, what's going on over there then? It all seems a bit cloak and dagger. I mean, I've just said it. I'll do it. Yeah, I'll kind of go and pay for stuff, and then just kind of.
You're halfway across when that door behind Frost opens a little bit again, and then shuts. And Frost beckons to you, points at your group, and says, "Come here."
Okay. Well, as I'm halfway over there already, I'll kind of look at my colleagues and shrug my shoulders and head over.
Yeah, I'm game to see what happens. I'll get up and walk over, but ready to kick somebody if they upset me.
Or you could just dive into a toilet that's nearby. I'm sure there'll be one.
Well, I was hoping that's what he was standing in front of. I was going to go and hide and then come out later. It's a plan that works.
Okay, so you approach Frost, and as you get close to him, he says, "Yes."
Have we got a password or something we need to know?
Uncle says hello.
I hope his garden's doing well. He opens the door behind him and ushers you in. So you have a sort of private room in here. There's a small stage at one end. You guess this is a place they maybe hire out for private functions, that sort of thing. And seated at a table is Mr. Skinner. He beckons you over. Grab a few chairs, sit down. He's got a cup of, actually, it looks like perhaps real coffee from the smell of it, not Cynthia Caff. sat on the table in front of him.
Did Frost stay outside?
Frost stays outside, yeah. And he says, well, what can I do for you, gentlemen?
Light spotted gardening in your uncle's garden, maybe?
Yeah, that was Naylor's idea of a joke.
So you've been working under the cover on the dream for several months, right?
I've been here a while, yeah.
So, and how much do you know about what we've been sent here to do? Do you know everything?
Very little. The outfit works on the less people know, the better kind of idea. So
Absolutely.
all I know is that I'm to give you assistance and provide you with what information I can. So what do you need to know?
Okay. Well, I guess the first thing is if you're already working undercover, have you got any contacts you can make with any of the local drug gangs? Aztecs, maybe someone else?
Ah, when did you get here?
Yesterday.
Yesterday? Well, yeah.
Yeah, we've seen Hobbs. We know about the Aztecs. We've been doing a little bit of work, light fingered work, but yeah, just hoping you could maybe point us in the right direction, maybe.
Okay. So this is the lay of the land. You know about the Aztecs then. They're working out of Club Nebula, running drugs. They've got a fair size operation. Now, the way it works is we've got 3 neighborhoods here in the stretch. The Aztec Hings run this area. Hasani's Corner. Copper Lane is run by the Razor Dogs. And Hyongdae is run by the Lung Yu. Generally, they don't interfere with each other. But, you know, there's always arguments and disagreements. And the reason they really tend to get on most of the time is, of course, they're all under the umbrella of the Bratva. And disagreements are bad for business. And no one wants to do anything to make business bad for the Bratva.
What's the Bratva?
The Brotherhood.
Are they like the overarching gang for the whole lot?
Yeah, they run the whole station.
I see.
Is that where the jellymilk's coming from?
I don't know. This is a new thing. You know, this has just come in the last couple of weeks. I don't really know too much about it. I know that it's taken or administered in nebulized form through hoods. It's inhaled. The Club Nebula is not a place I can really go into. Let's just put it like that. I've had some disagreements with some people in there in the past. Well, in fact, it was Hobbs. I had to eject him from my establishment at one point, and is a man who holds a grudge.
He looks like the type. When you say you had to eject him from your establishment, is that because you're running a club at the moment? Is that part of your...
Oh, I own the Narrow Valley.
Ah. Do you foresee there's any weakness isn't the right word, but is there any vulnerability in the Aztecs group that would enable us to leverage our way in? Are they looking for recruits or people to do work for them or anything like that you've heard about?
They're a pretty tight group. They've all sort of come up together on the streets. They're all local. They're all fairly hardcore. You know, life on the Dream can be quite tough. And even though they're fairly small time compared to the Bratva, even to get that far on the Dream takes some effort and skill and determination. So I don't know that they're openly recruiting, but it might be an in if you were prepared to do something for them. But it would be something probably deeply unpleasant.
Although you said that they don't want to cause trouble for each other, because the Bratva will be unhappy. Is there any areas that are like almost like touching a nerve between any gangs? Is there anything we can exploit in that sense?
There could be. Yeah, let me look into that and I'll see, because there's always frictions going on.
If we can cause some unrest between them, potentially we can exploit that to our advantage.
The advantage you'll have in some ways is being outsiders. You know, you've got no local ties.
Are there any friends we can make or people that we should know? And I'm gonna kind of, I don't know if we've got the photo of the guy that was in the club, surrounded by the bodyguards.
I'm sure we'd have it on one of the electric
I'd
tablets.
describe
sure.
him at least. Does this have anything to do with anything?
Is this Hobbs or the other guy? Oh, you
The other guy.
You didn't get a picture of the other guy, did you?
No.
It was a.
Sorry, I thought you were talking about Hobbs. We didn't bother with the other guy because he's going to be there every day.
Yeah, if you show him that picture, you'll definitely ID Hobbs. Yeah, that's him. Yeah.
What was the name of the club we was in last night?
The Blue Cat, wasn't it?
Blue Cat. Blue Cat, is that run by Bratva?
No, that's run by the Aztecs.
It's run by the Aztecs, right? Okay. Because Hobbs, when he handed something over and took something from the barman, nodded to the guy in the booth who nodded back. So is he possibly the head of the Aztecs?
No, that'll be the guy who runs the Blue Cat.
On behalf of the Aztecs. So that we was in an Aztecs club.
Yeah, Hobbs would have been collecting.
Who runs Caesars?
Again, the Aztecs have got overall whatever, so they'll have a manager in there, but it's their club in effect.
So the clubs are run by the gangs in their areas as well then?
Yeah, basically the history of it is you had lots of small gangs, and they found the only way they could survive eventually was to come under another gang, and then that gang then comes under the even bigger gang of the Bratva. It's just a way that, in a funny way, it works because it keeps the peace most of the time. Whereas if you had club against club, all run by a different person, and there was a period here of just constant gang warfare until the Bratva really got a grip on things.
Yeah, so it's like East End, West End.
Yeah. In Earth terms, it'll recognise Earth accents, London accents. Chicago in the 1920s, that kind of setup.
London in the 60s.
London in the 60s, yep.
Do you have a lead? Is the Dream being used as a manufactory, or is this just a distribution point?
Well, that's something we don't know exactly. That's something I've been working on, because there's a lot of potential here. As you came in, no doubt you saw all the industrial estates and all that kind of stuff. There could be anything going on in there. Added to the fact, of course, that Bratva employ Tempest, so they're paid security force, and the SFPD also largely in Bratva's pocket. So there are some good officers, I'm sure, but their hands are very much tied. So it could be coming in on ships. I'm sure there's stuff in labs being created here as well. I mean, what would be great is if we could get evidence of where, say, the jellymilk, for example, where's that coming from? Is that being made here, or is that being imported in?
So it's easy to bring the stuff in if they want the thing. Are all the gangs selling it?
No, that's just the Aztecs, as far as I know.
So it's likely then that possibly they are manufacturing it in this area somewhere.
That would seem likely, yeah.
Or they've got an exclusive importer.
Yeah, speaking of which, we had a rather strange trip in, and you've got to forgive the jet lag I could do with the coffee. But we saw a shuttle bearing a yellow lizard logo. I don't suppose that rings any bells, does it?
Orange, wasn't it? Orange lizard.
Yeah.
He has a thing. No, it doesn't ring any bells with him. No.
Okay.
It's not something he's seen on the Dream as far as he can remember.
What kind of health effects are these new breed of drugs having? Are we seeing increases in, hospital attendances? I understand this is probably something not necessary to your expertise, but it is mine.
Well, there's definitely been some examples of psychotic behaviour. It seems to be quite unpredictable, which I think is part of the appeal. I don't know that this is a sit down and have a nice experience kind of drug. It seems a bit more manic than that.
Do you think this could be tied up in the seemingly quite common fighting industry on the Dream? Do you think we should maybe be looking into these UFC style fights?
That probably has its own drug problem. let's put it that way. The fighting attracts big money and gambling. So that's a big one to crack.
I'm thinking here that if the Aztecs are the only one that have got access and are selling this jelly milk, and everybody is after it, this is a way of putting a wedge between them and the other two drug cartels, as trying to expand their territory with a new drug and push the others out. We could use that to start rivalry and make this fracture a bit bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, is down with that.
Skinner, you've been undercover now for several months. Is there anything that we haven't asked that you could help us with?
Not that he can think of particularly. I mean, he can give you a few leads of places to go if you wanted to buy some more specialized equipment or that kind of stuff. Obviously, that comes at a price here on the Dream, but he doesn't know what sort of equipment you've got or what you've brought in. But again, you probably won't know specifically what sort of equipment you need until you decide what you're going to do and where you're going to be doing it.
There is what 2 items we need straight away, probably, and that's 2 more sets of comms.
Right.
So because we've only got 3 sets, at least that way we can all be commed up.
And all be touching our ears and speaking into our ears.
Well, you can go and see Claude at his pawn shop. He has a lot of interesting stuff. Yeah, Claude Pêcheur is just is literally on the market square. If you let me have a word with him, then I'll see if he'll let you go through to his back room.
That would be nice, because though we don't know what we need yet, it'd be nice to know what is available, so it can be.
Okay, cool.
Well, give me a shout when you do, and I'll have a word with Claude. You can always leave a message for me here, Morris on side, or you can find me at the Narrow Valley, where I might add we do very reasonable rates and all tastes are catered for.
Well, we are on a stag do, so
Yeah. One last thing from me, Skinner. Just what are your feelings to like Miss Kerr in the family?
We don't see eye to eye. She doesn't approve of my activities.
Oh, she seemed a really big fan. She wanted to throw you a party in the basement or something. I'm not too sure.
I don't think she'd let me in her house, which is fair enough.
All right. Okay. Interesting. Thank you.
Todd's been sitting there scribbling some notes down. He's already formulated a plan here, or a type, the outlines of a plan. Mention when we get back. I'll see what people's thoughts are.
Okay. That's his advice. If you want to start somewhere, then start with the Aztecs. They're in Club Nebula, then that would be a good starting point. However you want to approach that is up to you. Give him a shout. If you need anything, you can get a message to him in those 2 ways. Just don't ask him to come into Mrs. K's, because she won't let him in through the door. Other than that, don't trust anyone. Don't trust the security. Don't trust the police. They're all bought and paid for.
I don't even trust your guy outside the door.
Frost? Oh, you can trust Frost. I can always trust Frost to do what's necessary. So anyway, gentlemen, time marches on. I've got some more people to see. Let me know how you're getting on. Let me know if you need anything. If anything comes up from my end, I'll be in touch.